you would like to know how to make these amazing homemade Viennese whirls, then you're in the right place. But first, cue the introduction. Welcome back to Simon's Bacon Isolation Inspiration. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and thank you for joining me on my road to 500 subscribers. We're a baking show where we don't take it seriously at all, and we have flipping good fun while we bake. Now you at home know exactly what we're making today. We're making Viennese whirls, or Viennese whirls, whatever you want to call them. Now I know exactly what you're thinking. Simon, who made them? Simon, who invented them? Simon, where'd they come from? The answer is, well, I ain't got a clue really. Now to start with, I'm going to show you the ingredients on how to make the biscuits, and then later on in the video I'm going to show you how to make a nice simple vanilla buttercream. So let's crack on with the ingredients. The ingredients you're going to need to make these things is as follows. In this bowl I have got 225 grams of unsalted butter. In this bowl I have got 50 grams of icing sugar, or in America they call it powdered sugar. In this bowl I have got 250 grams of plain flour. In my little pot I have got 2 tablespoons of milk. And lastly, you're going to need some vanilla extract. We're going to be using a splish of this. Now there is some special equipment you're going to need to make this stuff, so let's run through it quick. You need a sieve, a spatula, you need a piping bag with a star nozzle. What size is this star nozzle? I haven't got a clue, it's just a star nozzle to me. And you're going to need a couple of spare piping bags, which I'll explain later on. You need a big boy bowl. You also need a baking tray with some baking paper and a cookie cutter. This is about 2 inches. And lastly, you're going to need one of these. Yes, I know, a lot of you have never seen one of these before. This is a hand whisk. We don't use none of that KitchenAid or Kenwood stuff here. What a load of cheaters. Now before we start smashing these ingredients into the bowl, we need to do a little bit of prep work. So get your cookie cutter and your baking paper, and with your pencil, just draw some circles on the paper. And you want to do about 12 of these. And there we go, there's our 12 circles all done. Now here's a little pro tip here. Make sure that once you've done it, you turn the paper up the other way. That way, once you've cooked it, you're not going to get a pencil mark at the bottom of your biscuits. Blech. Now, you want to grease this down so it don't go anywhere. There we go, party peeps. And if you're anything like me, you'd wish to have done it in a thicker pen. I can't even see these. But it don't matter. It's home baking. The reason why we did this is it's a template. And what we do is when we put the biscuits on, they should hopefully all be the same size. Fingers crossed. Now I always forget it, but I'm going to mention it right now. Get your ovens on. Gas mark 5 or 190 degrees Celsius. Get it on and then we'll start making the stuff. Ovens on, so here we go. To start with, get all your butter and whop it straight in a bowl. Next, get your hand whisk and just give that a gentle beat around. What we're doing is we're softening the butter even further, making it into more of a paste. That way, when we put the flour and all that in, it'll be easier to incorporate. Just give it a little stir up for a minute or two. I've really got to get myself a KitchenAid. Now it's been about a minute and a half, and as you can see, my butter has gone a lot more spreadable. Perfect. Now it's time to go in with a splish of your vanilla extract. Splish. Now once you've given the vanilla a stir in, it's time to go in with your flour and icing sugar. So get your flour and your icing sugar, or powdered sugar, and pop it in to the same bowl. Now get your little whisking fingers on and just give that a gentle mix together. And now it's time to sieve half of this mixture into the buttery vanilla-y mixture. So just tip half into your bowl, into your sieve, and sieve it in and give it a good mix, making sure that all the flour is incorporated. Easy. And now that's the first half mixed, it's time to go in with the second half and sieve it in. Now you only want to mix this until all of the flour is incorporated. Don't go beating it like crazy, because then you end up having a nice rubbery biscuit, and this is supposed to be crumbly. So only mix it until all the flour is incorporated into the butter. And there we go, all the flour is incorporated. And as you can see, it's quite a thick mixture, and this is no good for piping. So now we introduce the milk. So the 2 tablespoons, just pop half of it in and give that a mix together. What you're looking for is it to be nice and soft and pipeable. There we go, peeps. Our mixture is a lot more pipeable now. Perfect. Now it's time to pipe these onto our little round templates. So we're going to need to get our star piping bag. Easy way of filling it up. Let's get a pint glass. Pop your piping bag in. That's a mouthful. And turn it over. And then this way, when you grab your mixture, it's easier just to pop it in. And there we go. There is my mixture into my piping bag. Now if you find it a little bit too tough to pipe, just hold it in your hands for about 20 and 30 seconds. The heat in your hands will melt whatever's inside the bag, and it'll make it even easier to pipe out. Now, little top tip, and I always forget to do this, don't fill your piping bag right to the brim. I always find that when I'm piping, it all shoots out over the top and it makes a right mess. And you can always fill this back up. Now with piping, it's hard to see the circles. You want to start off on the outside, pipe along and bring it in to the middle. A bit like this. So pipe around the outside, into the middle, and up like that. That is a perfect Viennese whirl. Now, continue doing this onto all your circles until all your biscuit mixture is gone. And there we go. There is our 12 Viennese whirls all ready for the oven. Now you want to bake these for about 12 to 16 minutes. They won't take on a lot of colour. It will be really pale. So just keep an eye on them. You just don't want them to burn. That's the most important thing. The timer's gone off and I've just got these out of the oven. Now I know what you're thinking, Simon, they don't look cooked at all. Well, I told you, they don't get a lot of colour, but trust me, they're cooked. Now, you just want to leave them set aside until they're all cooled down. And now my biscuits have cooled down completely, and as you can see, there's no pencil circle on the bottom. Now it's time to make the nice vanilla buttercream. So here's the ingredients. In this bowl, I've got 150 grams of unsalted butter. You best off using unsalted butter for this. If you use margarine, it goes real lucky. So, softened butter. In this bowl, I have got 340 grams of icing sugar. And in this little pot, I have got 3 tablespoons of milk. Another little splash of vanilla. And also the equipment. My trusty hand whisk, a big boy bowl, and a sieve. And let's get to it. So to start with, get your unsalted butter and whop it straight in the bowl. You want this to be really soft, so it's a lot easier to whip up. Now, with your hand whisk, whisk it for about 5 minutes. It's going to give you a proper arm workout, but trust me, it will become really pale and really light and fluffy. Don't use electric, cheat. Don't worry, got my other arm. Now after whisking for about 5 minutes and absolutely shredding your arms, your butter should be a lot more paler and a bit more softer. Perfect. Now it's time to sieve half of your powdered sugar or icing sugar into this stuff. So just tip half of it into your bowl and sieve half of it in. Now, once you finish sieving it, you want to whisk it all together until it's all whisked together. And now you're all hot and sweaty, whisking all that in together. It's time to get even more hot and sweaty by mixing the other half in. Now it's at this point you'll probably find it goes a little bit clumpy. Now's the time to go in with your milk. So go on in with your milk. and continue mixing it. And there we go. That is my vanilla buttercream all done. And you can tell it's done when you can hold it up on a spatula and it holds a peak and it doesn't drop. That is perfect. If yours drops, just add some more icing sugar and get it to that consistency. Now it's time to pipe this stuff into this stuff. So here I am again with my piping bag, and this time I've gone for that rounded nozzle. You can use a star, whatever you've got, it doesn't really matter. Now fold it over, and now it's time to fill up the piping bag with this stuff. And there we go, party peeps. I've got 6 on my board. So what I'm going to do is I'll get the buttercream and pop a bit in the middle and just swirl it out, going right to the edge. Perfect. So in the middle. Now if you're anything like me and you've whipped up way too much buttercream, don't throw it away. Just put it into an airtight container or a piping bag that hasn't been cut, and make sure it's sealed at the end. Pop it in the fridge and it can last in there up to about a month. And when you want to use it for cupcakes or cakes, instant buttercream, or you can just squirt it straight in your mouth. Lastly, in my final piping bag, I've just got some raspberry jam. You can use any jam that you want, or you can use chocolate or caramel, whatever you want. It's up to you at the end of the day. So what I'm going to do is just pipe, follow the spirals, pipe some jam onto these bad boys. And now they're all jammed up, it's time to finish the sandwich. So get your lids, just pop them on top, and give them a gentle push down. Doesn't that look like a proper good Viennese whirl? And now, just to finish these off, we're going to go over with a dusting of icing sugar. So just pop a little bit into your sieve. Now here's a little pro tip for you. A lot of people start right over the top of what they're dusting, and then you find that that first one gets proper clumpy. So what I do is I start off the board, because you can always clean this stuff up, and literally just go over the top, and then off the board, come back round, and just over it. And look at that, no clumps, no nothing. And there we go, there is my 6 amazing homemade Viennese whirls. And I'll tell you what, Mr. Kipling, if you're watching, you're not the only one that makes exceedingly good cakes. And now, if you're anything like me, you want to see a nice, close, sweeping shot of these with some nice, gentle music playing in the background. Now you know these look good, but do they taste good? Let's get one in our mouths and find out. I'll go with this one because it's the smallest and I'm watching my figure. Yep. That is a proper Viennese whirl. The biscuit is so buttery and crumbly, the buttercream silky smooth, and the jam just really pops. I tell you what, if you've never had one of these before, you really must make them and try them. Thank you all so much for taking the time out to watch this video. If you've enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, give it a comment, let us know what you thought about it. And until next time, peace out!